Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerd Age. This is the show where we discuss everything nerdy. My name is Mick, and with me as always are my co-hosts, Josh.
What's up?
Corey.
Hello.
And Jonah.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the show, guys. We're just going to jump right into some, I guess, DC Warner Brothers news. A lot of stuff dropped over the past few days about...
Literally.
Literally dropped. A lot of cancellation stuff and things moving around, going away, maybe coming back. So... we're going to jump into some stuff.
Yeah, so first thing, Batgirl, which had already filmed, it was a $90 million budget. They announced that they were just scrapping it, right? And apparently the news that came out was they were doing it for tax write-off purposes. Yeah. So because they did that, it's against the law for them to get any monetization for it. So they're saying there's no way they can even release it on HBO Max or anything. They're just like killing it. They did the same thing with the sequel to Scoob, which is an animated movie.
Yeah, animated
Maya really likes the first one.
Was she upset? You're like, Maya, you sit her down, you're like, Maya, they killed Scooby-Doo.
But that one was also basically done. Yeah. And so they're like, why would you do this? So... let's just talk about this before we go on to the other stuff. What do you guys think? Let's start with Corey first. What do you think? Were you excited for the Batgirl movie? Do you think this is a good move? And what are your thoughts on this?
I guess I wasn't excited about it, but I didn't think of it negatively. I think the fact that it was a movie, I was more positively like thinking about it, other than just a TV show. Yeah. I mean, when I heard about the whole like, oh yeah, like you can get this like tax write-off for the whole movie, I'm just like, that's stupid. That's even a thing.
It's dumb.
I am angry, or I'm not angry with them. I'm like, that's sad for the people who worked on this. Never gonna come out. Sure, they got paid, but it's just like, it's just kind of bummer, you know, especially if you wrote it. That'd be so annoyed. I'd be so annoyed if I just wrote that and then they just didn't even release it. All the work you put in there, months of your lives.
Apparently, the directors were back home. One of them was getting married, and they found out. And so they were like, "That's crazy." Josh, Mick, what do you guys think? Were you guys excited for the movie? Did you guys not care? Is this kind of a big deal for you guys, or is it more like, whatever?
I mean, it's kind of like whatever. Like I wasn't excited for it, but it was like Michael Keaton's coming back for it. Commissioner Gordon, what's the actor? I forget.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is going to be in it. And I think when the like pictures of her suit came out, we were like, oh, it looks kind of dumb. But they were just going to put it on HBO Max anyway. So it was just going to be like, okay, I'll watch it on HBO Max when it comes out. And yeah, like you said, it's a bummer for all the people that worked on it, like 7 to 8 months of your life that you spent working on this. And it's just like, no, the corporation is going to get a tax write-off because of it.
Yeah.
So that sucks. I saw. I don't know who the person that was doing the score was. I don't think it was like girl from Obi-Wan. But anyway,
that would be crazy.
They were like, "Oh, this sucks." Like
that's like crazy.
You worked on the score, and that's like no one's going to get to hear it ever.
Well, no one will ever hear it. Yeah. Besides the people who are working on it. Yeah. That's nuts.
I mean, they could leak it.
Yeah, right. That's what they can do. But right. And then it sucks for the actress.
But you can't monetize it. But yeah.
It's like,
so Leslie Grace.
Guess what? You're going to be Batgirl. And you're like, no, you're not.
Guess what? You're not.
and they said they were like, whatever, Zaslav or whatever was like, we're talking to the talent in the movie. We're really excited to work with the directors and whatever, Leslie. In the future, I'm like, who would want to work with you again?
I know.
You're like, we've got a project. We got a project for you. It's like, no,
like
get out of here.
All of like any actor who really wants their stuff out there is going to have like some contract clause that says you can't scrap this last minute. Like that's such a difficult thing to do to a studio because they want control over all that. So it's just like, ugh,
and let's be honest, it's WB, so there's going to be another merger in 2 years anyway, and the whole higher ups are going to be different anyway. And it's going to be the whole situation over again. So if I were the actors, I would have a hard time being like, even though it's a different group set of people, I'd be like, no, dude, I'm not working with you guys anymore. Like,
would you though?
Yeah.
If they say, hey, so. Rumor is this movie was a mess, a complete mess.
Nah, that's not true though, because they said They even said that they did test screenings and they were similar to, I can't remember what other movie they did before
Flash.
they did reshoots. They were like, it's on par.
I think it was Flash.
Because it did come out originally. They were like, this movie's terrible. That's why they're cutting it. And then they came out and were like, no, it's not because of that. It's because we're getting that sweet government money.
Yeah, well,
tax
I mean, there's rumors on both sides, but let's. I actually had. There's a line of dialogue that was leaked that I'm going to read to you guys and see what you guys think of it. But if the rumor is true that this movie was not good, and one of the things, so even the directors, when the directors first came out, and they were hired on, they put a post out saying the Batman that was going to be in the movie was Ben Affleck's Batman. And then J.K. Simmons, when he came on, he said, I'm excited to be with, and they asked him, like, hey, I'm excited to be in this project. And they asked him, well, what Batman is it going to be? And he said, well, the only Batman there is, Ben Affleck's Batman. And then a week later, he was like, when they asked him again, he's like, oh, well, I'm not really sure. Apparently, the directors came out and said that WB came in and said, you're using Michael Keaton. And they were like, but that doesn't make sense with what the universe we're in. They're like, it doesn't matter. You're using Michael Keaton. So I think the reason, it may not be that the movie sucked, but I think it didn't fit with anything that they're doing. I just think Zaslav came and watched it and he said, how does this make sense with, like, if we want to continue this universe, does it go into the Pattinson universe? Is it connected to the Flash? Is it connected to the Michael Keaton's universe, Ben Affleck's? Because you're using J.K. Simmons. So I just think that's where it was a mess, because the past leadership at WB didn't know what the heck they were doing. So I think, for me, more of the blame should go on the people that made these decisions to make these movies and not have a plan with what they were doing. Mick hasn't had a chance to talk. So what do you think about what you've heard so far? And
why is that wrong?
I mean, it seems like it was like not even enough time to get excited for the movie, because I feel like we just heard or saw the screenshots of her suit, and like you said, we talked about it, had our opinion on it, and then like the next thing we hear is like, oh, it's getting canceled. And yeah, it was just like, oh, I wasn't really excited for it, but it seemed like something new. And I mean, the Barbara Gordon character is really cool, and Batgirl's really cool, so it was exciting to see something new. Something we hadn't seen before.
Brendan Fraser was the biggest travesty. Was the thing that I was more excited for.
Yeah. So I'm kind of annoyed. And then when you hear it's, oh, they'll actually make more doing tax. Like, I hate that.
Stupid.
I mean, for me, not into the deep of the recesses of everything, hypothetically, I'm just looking at this. I'm like, from a business standpoint, it either means, or this is a accumulation of the two, but they probably just didn't think they'd make that much money that they spent.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, they were just putting on HBO Max anyway.
We can just get our money back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's just as simple as I think it is, but it totally could be like, oh, yeah, it just doesn't, it's not building our future, which is the new future that we want to do, which has nothing to do with Zack Snyder.
Well, and the fact, too, that the movie was like, basically done. It was in post-production.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. Like that's pretty crazy.
There's been stuff, like some things have come out that people compared it to a CW show. It's saying like that was the look and feel of it. So to me, that doesn't, I'm not like, oh, well, too bad. Because if it's going to be bad, why do I want it to come out? Does that make sense? Point. So I know there's going to be pushback on both sides saying, no, people really liked it. Some people are saying it's terrible. So you don't really know what the truth is. But one of the people working on it dropped a line of dialogue from a scene, and I was just going to read it to you guys. If you guys, what you guys think if this is cool.
Is this real?
This is real. This is I'm Leslie Grace and the scene, and then it says Bressie approaches Babs, looking unsure of how she even got past security. She smirks and pops her knuckles with glee. Bressie says, that was some stunt you pulled back there. Everyone is going to be looking for a girl in a bat costume. Babs, I think I scared him enough. Plus, I got what I needed. Bressie, maybe I just don't get the bat in time thing. Is that a catchphrase?
Bat in time?
Yeah.
Yeah, like just in time.
Bat in time. So a lot of people are like, because the person that posted like this, he's like, this is what we're missing out on. Like, what? And a lot of people are like, this doesn't sound good.
Wait, what was that? That was not good.
So, but I think this kind of segues into kind of the information that came out with WB and Discovery. They did a lot of moves. So I think for me, I think they're trying to right the ship. I just think there's no way around it. Walter Hamada is, according to many sources, he's going to be out after Black Adam comes out. He came out and said that he was thinking of quitting after they canceled Batgirl. But then he was like, oh, no, I'm going to stick around. But
yeah, you got to get that paycheck.
They already have more people in charge. So this is according to THR. This is kind of the first big news that happened is Warner Bros. Discovery, David Zaslav, Chief David Zaslav's strategy is to restructure the company into 3 production verticals. Warner Bros. New Line, DC, and animation. So they're going to just have those 3 focuses. And then Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, who are currently chairman at MGM, have closed a deal to run Warner Bros. So that means Hamada's out, Emmerich is out. So all the guys I hate, which is good. They're going to run Warner Bros. And New Line Cinema. The duo is expected to temporarily run DC until new leadership is announced, with DC Films president Walter Hamada reporting directly to them. Toby Emmerich will step down as chairman of Warner Bros. New Line, a role he has held since 2017, but is expected to receive a 5-year production deal at the studio. So that's kind of the big thing that dropped, is like they're hiring these guys that are going to take over. And then the next thing that dropped after that was Alan Horn is hired back at WB as a consultant. And so Alan Horn used to work at WB when they did all the Harry Potter movies, when they did Lord of the Rings, and when they did the Nolan trilogy. So he knows, I mean, that's probably the best time in Warner Brothers history.
He knows sequels.
He knows stuff.
Okay. He knows lots of sequels.
The other thing they announced was that DC is now a studio. So before it's just been like just a label they'd put on stuff, but now DC is going to have their own cohesive. They're going to be working on stuff like that. And
that's crazy they didn't have that already.
Yes, that's absolutely
that
nuts.
Speaks volumes, actually. That says a lot.
The other thing Zaslav said was they have a 10-year plan that they're going to put with DC movies. So I'm just going to run through. They did a
everyone's got a plan.
They did a call to the shareholders. And so I'm just going to run through kind of some stuff that they said. You guys can stop me at any point if you guys want to talk about something. But the first thing is they have only begun to scratch the surface of their path with Warner Bros. Discovery. Zaslav shouts out House of the Dragon, Ted Lasso, and Abbott Elementary as a type of content that resonates with consumers. Yep. The Batman and Elvis among titles to exemplify what Zaslav wants to embrace more of. HBO Max and Discovery coming together as one platform. A lot of people are saying HBO Max is going to be gone next year, and it's just going to be Discovery Plus with a tab to go to HBO. House of the Dragon is the biggest campaign in HBO's history, so they're going to put a lot of money towards that. He talked about celebrating their many, many, many IPs. The Trinity is mentioned again, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. So he made a focus of saying these are franchises, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. So they're really going to focus on that. Zaslav said Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are the top-selling and iconic IPs in the world. He says they will fully embrace the theatrical. So they don't want... That's one of the reasons he said they didn't want Batgirl, because they're like, we want to make big movies that people go to theaters and watch. Which I think is cool.
I think it's cool too.
It is. You have something to say?
No, I was just gonna say it is a little ironic that like their big focus is like we're gonna big theatrical blockbusters when like their biggest moneymaker was The Joker, and they would have never made that movie. Like that wasn't a theatrical blockbuster movie.
But that was. I disagree. Even though it wasn't like a huge like spectacle, but it was like you had to go to theaters to watch this. Like people went in a pandemic to watch it because it was the Joker. It was iconic. So I don't know if it's saying like
I don't think
big blockbusters. I think they're saying like events you need to go watch in theaters, and that's what Joker became because of all the stuff going around it. It was like I have to see this in theaters. What's the hype about? I think that's what he's more talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that movie doesn't get made if this new regime. I mean, there's no way of knowing it, but it seems like a Joker movie that they pitched it as was like super low budget, they would have been like, no, we're focusing on Batman and Superman, and we're focused on the big cinema experience.
That's a fair point.
a super valid.
Do you think
critique.
we're going to be missing out on?
I mean, I just think it's kind of interesting that like their biggest moneymaker has been Joker, and it was like odds are that gets made with this new directive. I just feel like I don't want to miss out on things like that with this new focus of like, I don't want to miss out on them being like, we got to get a huge Batman trilogy, Superman trilogy. Like I want other stories to be told also, and like Joker is like the perfect example of that. It was like, that's a really good movie that maybe doesn't get made with their focus on.
I don't think it means it. You said it might not, so you didn't say 100%. But yeah, I think that it still could exist because just because it doesn't cost as much money doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I think it's just more of that commitment to that movie,
to theaters, and I think what they're pushing is
format.
They're pushing against what WB did before, where they were like, we're putting all our stuff on HBO Max the day of. So I think they're trying to make a stance to say like, no, we're not doing that. We're focusing on theater. You go into the theater to watch these movies. Yeah. And the other thing that's interesting, you bring up Joker, is Todd Phillips, who's the director, apparently is in talks to kind of help out with, he's going to be one of the people making the new DC universe. They've talked to him and
I don't know if I like
other people that they haven't mentioned. Just real quick, Zaslav teases a 10-year plan for DC going forward, not going to release any film that isn't ready or won't make them the success they are expecting. Black Adam, Shazam, and The Flash
on the cutting block
amongst titles that are still coming.
They're the ones that survived.
He says, we have seen Flash, Black Adam, and Shazam 2. We are very excited about them. We've seen them. We think they are terrific, and we think we can make them even better. Zaslav on Batgirl and Wonder Twins. Wonder Twins was also... we won't
Wonder
release
Twins
them.
Power activate.
This is what he said about it. He said, we won't release a movie we don't believe in. So I just think that's pretty clear. They didn't think it was up to their standards, which I think is fine. The objective is to grow the DC brand and protect it. Yeah, so that's basically it. And so to me, I think this is good news because I think there's a lot of rumors going on that they're changing stuff up in The Flash, Black Adam, and Shazam 2 to make it more cohesive so that they can set a foundation to then move into this next 10-year plan, which I think is good, and that's why they delayed these movies. Now, for me, I think it's really important. What gets me excited is they talked about, he's mentioned Wonder Woman, he's mentioned Superman, he's mentioned Batman. Like, this is, why are we not making more movies like this? To me, this gets me excited. I think they'll bring Henry Cavill back because I think you have perfect casting with those characters. Now,
but they're not using his...
They old.
That's a big concern, and they're not using his visuals.
Yeah,
they're using the other two,
or
other three, but they're not using his.
So, tinfoil hat. When he first came on,
get on board.
When he first came on, they had earnings call with people, and they used Zack Snyder's Justice League, as like IPs to continue and build on. I think they haven't used Henry Cavill because it's not.
Do you think it had a contract clause where they can't? They don't have the
I don't
permission?
think he's signed on yet. So,
okay.
But here's the thing. I think it's really interesting that they announced that Ben Affleck is coming back to shoot additional scenes in Aquaman. That if you're going to reboot everything, why bring Ben Affleck back to do that? I think that's silly.
I don't know.
Unless you're going to establish something. So here's a little last Thanksgiving.
Old.
Yeah, but 10 years. 10 years.
Bro.
Oh, this works perfectly. Okay, listen to this, guys.
Isn't he? How old is he? In real life?
He's 50.
Listen to this.
I don't know what you're talking
Listen
about.
to this.
Ben Affleck?
Listen to this.
He's 50.
So, a year ago, or last November, Thanksgiving, Zack Snyder dropped a picture of a turkey, and he said, thankful. And in the background, there were two journals where we all know that Zack Snyder writes his stuff on his journals. And on the bottom was the omnibus of Final Crisis, which is where Darkseid basically, Batman dies. It's just an epic story that involves Darkseid. And so many people are now saying that if Zaslav went to Zack Snyder, because the first thing he said is, we want to repair relationships. If Zaslav
He's
went,
the only person who exists.
no, but
That's
he
the
was
only
a big
relationship that
DC.
exists.
No, him and Nolan, like he mentioned them both as like
good,
we got to
that's
replace these things.
Yeah.
So what about this? What if Zaslav goes up to Zack Snyder and says, "Hey, we have this 10-year plan. What's your end game? Like if you could plan out 10 years of DC stuff, what would be your end game?" And he says, "Oh, Final Crisis. It would work this way." This would actually fit perfectly if they were to build off Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Flash comes in, Aquaman, all these movies can still fit. You got 10 years to build up to Darkseid. But then what happens is at the end of 10 years, Ben Affleck's Batman dies, right? That's when you then reboot another Batman. You still got Reeves' Batman going on. But those actors that are older now, in 10 years, you can end them and reboot.
For real.
In real life.
But I think you're already building on a foundation that I think people would be excited to go watch. People would be excited to watch a Man of Steel 2 with Henry Cavill. People would be excited to watch a Wonder Woman 3, even though people didn't like Wonder Woman 2. Gal Gadot is still really loved as Wonder Woman. I think you can't recast those people. They've already been recast perfectly, but you have 10 years to enjoy an arc with them that would end with Final Crisis, and then you can then reboot to whatever you want to do. I think that fits, and I think Zack Snyder had originally signed on to do movies at Netflix, and around that same time, he then decided to film both his Rebel Moon movies at the same time. What does that do?
Two of those?
What does that do? That allows him to finish all the shooting, right, of those movies, do all that, and then in 3 years he can come back and do something. Once you've had these other movies come out that are building what Zack Snyder's already developing, he already had a massive story that he was working on in the DC universe. I think they've talked to him, and I think they're going to announce that he's going to be doing ultimately a 10-year plan and finishing his arc with Final Crisis coming out in 10 years.
Do you guys have anything on this?
I mean,
I feel like I always...
I'm totally down for that. I want order, and I'm totally for Snyder coming back and doing his stuff, finishing his movies, because that was left with a pretty big cliffhanger, and like I think we all want more from the.
Would you step out of your troll shoes for a little bit and just be honest? Would you watch Zack Snyder do a 10-year?
Of course I would.
We have to be honest on this
I
podcast.
would
We never signed up for that, by the way.
No.
We never did.
I would like to see that. But I feel like with the direction they're going, if they're setting up a 10-year plan, I could see them just being like, we're scrapping, I want my new Superman, I want my new Wonder Woman. We're getting people that we believe in, that we handpicked to cast. Like, I feel like it doesn't really fit for them to be like, oh yeah, Zack Snyder's going to continue his story. Plus, I was reliably informed that all the people that wanted the Snyderverse to happen were all bots. So,
every one of
people
them?
that want to keep watching it, nah, there's nobody out there.
I think there's a couple supporting you and against. I think that when you jump on and you start taking over a new company and you start looking at numbers, you see that Zack Snyder's Justice League did so well. Allegedly,
Thanks to
I'm
the
gonna
bots.
I'm gonna be honest. I think they did really well streaming numbers.
Yeah.
I don't think you can ignore that.
Yeah, Jonah had 18 devices streaming it all the time.
He did like a couple thousand himself. Yeah, that's fine. I also think that the movies are just really good. What he creates. So obviously you'd want to stick with just high quality film, especially because it's already tested, tried and true. And he already started creating the story. Problem is, will they agree with that story where his direction was going?
Right.
Will that lead into whatever they want to accomplish? Maybe not. Against, I would say he is old. He's 49 years old. So 10 years, he's going to be almost 60.
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck. Which guys age really well. And some women
and he's
do
married
too.
to J-Lo now, so he's married again.
But he's
gonna
also
start.
he's also
he was-
set up to be an older Batman.
But here's the problem: is see, that's the thing though. He's already at like end of life.
Well, I guess if you continue the Matt Reeves story, but I don't think they want to have two different universes.
they
going on
absolutely
at the
do,
same
because they
time.
already
Right.
announced Joker 2. So that's already another universe that's separate from the Matt Reeves and the Snyderverse, and they're going forward with that. I think for me, I just think it makes sense. It wouldn't make sense if they didn't bring Ben Affleck back to do Aquaman. That to me is like, if you're going to recast a new Batman and not continue this, why are you pushing to bring Ben Affleck and do reshoots in Aquaman?
What if they to play devil's advocate? What if they are doing that to like give him his
send off?
Yeah.
Well, because the original rumors is that was going to happen in The Flash. And then what came out is they said they reshot that to be like, no, they actually don't kill him off in The Flash. There's been, ever since that's happened.
Mess.
Right, but I think ever
who knows
since
if that movie's coming out, to be honest.
Oh, it's going to come out.
Ezra got arrested again today.
Yeah.
So.
Breaking and entering. Crazy.
But
Burglary.
I do think if you're not going to continue with that, why have Ben Affleck come and shoot stuff in Aquaman to get rid of Keaton? That's it. They're like, we're changing that idea and bringing back stuff. And here's the other thing: is Zaslav specifically says that they've seen the movies and that they're gonna make them better. I think what they're doing there is they're gonna make them cohesive. And I think it's also interesting that people are saying, oh, they're distancing themselves from Zack Snyder. WB just released the Snyder Cut on digital a month ago. It hadn't been released before because WB refused to, and this new Discovery comes in and they decide to drop it on digital. And the reason for doing that obviously is to make money because suckers are going to buy it.
Yeah.
But I think if they were to be like, hey, we want to distance ourselves from this universe, they wouldn't do that, because now what that says is that they're saying, hey, we think this is going to make money and we're going to put it out there because we want more people to watch it, because I think they're tying into it. To me, that makes...
There's no better time to do a soft or hard reset now. Like after Aquaman, you can reset. So that's another thing that I'm saying would be against the Zack Snyder theory.
Why do you say it's better to reset after Aquaman?
I didn't say it's better. I'm just saying, what do you mean?
Oh, you said there's no better time.
Oh, I'm saying if you're going to do a hard reset, you got to do it after Aquaman 2, and this is your chance. I'm just saying that's...
Right. There's nothing else coming out that ties to these characters.
That's the end of previous laid plans.
Yeah. Right.
So now's your chance if you're going to do a reset. But
here's the thing. What do you do? The first Aquaman made over $1 billion. That's one of their biggest movies. People are excited for the second one. People love Jason Momoa. Mm-hmm. Aquaman lives in the Snyder universe, right? So then if Aquaman 2 is really good,
so
do you then we're not going to do an Aquaman 3?
What's the annoying show I don't like? Peacemaker. So is Peacemaker in Zack Snyder's universe then?
They haven't established if it is or not.
But that's what I'm saying is it's a lot of gray. And
that's the thing. Some people are saying that some people are saying that Peacemaker's not going to they're not going to continue with that. There's rumors of that, so we don't know if that.
I'm just saying you're taking everything as like hard facts, and I'm just saying there's gray.
Yeah.
So who knows where they're going to take it?
And I guess Suicide Squad would be in Snyder's universe because they had Ezra Miller as the Flash, and they had like references
the original one.
No, the new one.
The new one. Yeah. The show had Ezra. The Flash showed up in the show.
Oh, right. So Aquaman and
Aquaman.
Yeah.
So there's. I mean, I guess it would be, but if they continue that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
very.
I mean, the point is they made a mess of this. Like.
I don't know if they.
I think they're trying to clean up the mess.
Cleaning up the mess.
They're trying to clean it up.
But the mess was
the previous WB was the mess because they were like, greenlight that. We're greenlighting this.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the Wonder Twins. Announce the Wonder Twins movie.
The Green Lantern show.
The Green Lantern show.
They didn't allow Zack Snyder to put the Green Lantern scene in because we have plans, and then that seems to be canceled.
Right.
Too.
So they were basically canning all the stuff that they had plans, and it was like not cohesive at all. It just seemed like scattershot. Like,
but it makes
just shoot
it's
it.
Like if you pitch something and we like it,
green.
That's what it felt like.
Put it on HBO Max.
It's awesome because like now it makes sense. If they didn't have a cohesive studio making these plans and everyone's on the same page, this all starts making sense.
Yeah.
It was a clown show before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly. This is actually pretty positive news. I really enjoy this news.
Yeah, as long as they're not being like reactionary, because that's I think a big reason why it kind of went downhill.
Yeah.
Like
thus the 10-year plan.
BVS stuff, like all that I think started with like, they're freaking out. We have to change and do what Marvel's doing and all that BS. And so I really hope that they're the 10-year plan sounds great. Get everything laid out, get it organized, and just do it.
I'll add just real quick. I actually really I already we're already on the same page of like, oh, we like movies, versus TV series. One thing to support that is right now the current like temperature of like Marvel movies is it feels like everything's just very oversaturated because there's so many series coming out, and then there's one movie here and there, but series. And it's like, it would actually, if I was doing the strategy on this, a way to stand out would be just do big boy movie and just
less
be like
is more.
A banger. Yeah, take your time. Don't churn out these shows, man. Oh man, all these people coming forth. All these graphic artists and all these 3D animators are like, yeah, I'm working like 11 days a week. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're working themselves to death, and it's messed up.
Yeah.
It's messed up. And me as a creative, working not in that, but similar stuff, being overworked in those situations only produces worse products.
Yeah.
That's the matter. When you rush something like that, ugh. So I actually really like the fact that they're going more theatrical.
Well, and Zaslav said even in the earnings call, he said we're gonna do quality over quantity. He's like, so we're not gonna put a movie out just to throw a movie out, which I think is great. Yeah. I don't want to have like 8 movies, DC movies a year. Like, give me a good like one or two. Like, I'll be fine with even one if it's like. And I think that's kind of the thing. If we think of a 10-year plan, it's like, well, how many movies is that going to be? Like 30 movies? I'm like, they could seriously do like 20 in that. Less than that, they 15. Could do like 10 movies. Oof. And you could still tell a good story. Like, as far as like, you give me you have the Aquaman, the Black Adam, you have Shazam. I mean, then you do Wonder Woman 3, you can Man of Steel 2, you can do a Ben Affleck Batman solo movie, and then you have the Justice League Part 2, and then the final one. Like, that to me is like, you can tell a good story with that. And then I think they're smart. Right now, the biggest problem DC has is there's so much infighting. You got the Snyder fans, you've got the Matt Reeves universe fans, you got the Batgirl fans, and everyone's like...
Batgirl fans?
No, I mean,
never met one.
There are people that are saying that.
Release the Batgirl cut.
I'm just saying, they're smart to kind of get rid of anybody that was in the past leadership, because now Snyder fans are going to be like, okay, I'm willing to watch this now, because you got rid of the people that were racist against Ray Fisher and stuff like that. But I just think... if you bring those people together, you tell the story, and then you finish it in the 10 years, then you're just going to be like, all those Snyder fans, you gave them what they wanted. They were enjoyed to see that. And then they're going to be on board to follow what DC does next, right? Mm-hmm. Because you said, okay, we finished the story. That's there. So I just think there's good things about doing it where it's going to bring people together. And I think he has a good grasp and understanding of a story he wants to tell, all planned out, that I think would just, it's a no-brainer to me to be like, hey, what are your plans for this? Oh, that sounds good. Let's do it. Because the foundational blocks are already there, and you can just build on it.
Yeah, I guess the one thing that I'm missing to have like a lot of confidence in this is knowing who the architect's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to be like the Dave Filoni, you know what I mean? Like,
this guy's telling you Zack Snyder's going to be the architect.
I think he's going to be one
awesome.
of them.
That's
Jim
his
Lee,
idea. That's great.
Todd Phillips. I think they're going to have, they said they were going to have about 10 people to kind of work. And they're going to have one guy like
Whedon
a Feige, but I think they're going to have like creative people. I wouldn't be surprised if they get Nolan and Zack Snyder to do stuff. As far as like
crazy
crafting a story, if you tell people like, hey, Todd Phillips, Zack Snyder, Christopher Nolan, Jonathan Nolan,
David S.
Goyer, Jim Lee, if you tell people that those people are setting up this 10-year plan, people would get super excited about it. Yeah. And I think that's a smart way to do it. You don't have to say Zack Snyder's solely responsible, but I think he's going to direct some movies and then he's going to let other people direct, but it's going to be that story. I think that's a smart way to go.
Only if you get rid of Ben Affleck and bring back Christian Bale.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'm on board. Listen, Zaslav, you listening?
Christian Bale.
Listen, I'm
awesome.
I think it's good. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think I've just been burned so many times by WB that I'm like so jaded about it. I'm like,
new
cool.
era, baby.
Yeah, every new CEO was like, we got a plan, and it was like, release the movie. I got to get my paycheck so that I can get my bonuses. And then I'm going to peace out, and then we're going to fire Zack Snyder, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to do all these other things. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's just like clown show.
Every
single person that's been in charge of WB, it's been a joke. So like now that a new guy shows up and he's like, I got a 10-year plan. I'm like,
they're scrapping
prove
people,
it, bro.
But remember, like I said earlier, he's committed to doing sequels. His past experience shows that. So, I mean, I don't know. And I'm a little more on the positive side, maybe a 6 in positivity.
And here, to kind of counter that is the difference is when AT&T took over, they had no idea like what they were doing. Like AT&T wasn't a movie studio. Discovery and Zaslav has worked in this kind of stuff for a long time, and they put a ton of money into it. Like they announced that they're like 3.1 billion. Like they lost that much money in the first quarter.
That's why they're cutting Batgirl so they can get that tax money.
Well, yeah, but I just think it's different because there's money on the line and they want to right the ship. They know like Matrix was a bomb. Like that was supposed to be one of the biggest movies. Yeah. Fantastic Beasts was a bomb. So like the past leadership has screwed it over so much that I think they're like, we need to right this ship and we're only going to do bangers only. You know, like I think that's why Joker 2 is announced. They're like, hey, Joker 1 did good. We know we can do this. Aquaman 2. So I just think I'm excited for it. And I think good news is going to, for you Snyder fans, us Snyder fans, I think there's going to be some pretty cool stuff announced after Rebel Moon kind of starts going out and doing some stuff like that. I think they're going to announce some stuff.
Is Rebel Moon just the 2 movies?
No. So it's 2 movies, but he's developing like TV shows in a connected universe.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
That's why I don't think he's going to be directing as much with the DC stuff. I think he'd be more like, because he has his own production company now. So now he's about crafting different stories for different things. So I just think the Stone Quarry thing.
That kind of changes things a little bit.
I think that's kind of like
because most companies, when they have someone working on something, they have a non-compete clause. And so he'd be a direct competitor because it's same type of. I mean, it's not a superhero per se. It's more like a sci-fi.
And the thing that
maybe it'd be. And
here's the benefit thing though. With Rebel Moon, it's going straight to Netflix,
right?
And with the DC stuff, it's going to theaters. Like there's a difference there within Netflix.
Some separation,
yes. And that's when they announced their new production company, Stone Quarry. They announced that because they wanted to work on multiple projects at the same time. And I just think it's all set up for it.
That's his favorite intro to any
dude. That's a
company.
It's a beautiful logo. Graphic designer here.
It's a beautiful
disagrees.
Logo.
It's great.
No, it's just not. It's just not the best. It's
basic.
It's all right.
It's beautiful. I never said it was the best. You listen to this guy. You listen to Empire on 6.
Anytime you watch a movie, he's like, "This is my favorite. I love this intro."
I do know which one I like. The Ridley Scott one, where it's the guy in the little thing that turns into the bird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that one's cool.
Mine's Bad Robot.
Syncope is awesome too.
Syncope?
I don't know.
Syncope?
Syncope.
I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, I don't think there's anything.
As far as what, Warner Bros?
As far as Warner Bros, as far as anything really.
Gotham Knights released like 15 minutes of gameplay. I think last week, right after we did our podcast last week. Did you guys get a chance to watch it or?
Oh. I watched some of it. I just saw the the Batgirl costume where she had like the mask and stuff. Did you see that part?
I don't think so. What was that?
I don't know.
It was like a screenshot where she had like her face covered, like she had like a metal mask on and stuff.
Yeah, they said
pretty sick.
They said they worked with a bunch of different artists all over the world to like create different outfits and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different costumes you can.
Oh, did they release?
They didn't release them. There was concept art about it. I think IGN did an article about it. So there were like different branded like sets that you could do. So there were some where they had the full mask on, which looked pretty cool. So I think there's going to be some suits that are actually give you bonuses, and then there's the suits that just are skins basically that doesn't change
just cosmetic.
Yeah, they're just cosmetic. So sounds like there's a lot of customization in the game. So
but yeah, the gameplay it gets me more excited for the game. It definitely looks different than the Arkham games. So if you're wanting, just straight up Arkham again, then you're not going to get it. But there is definitely elements there that are similar. I would say the combat is fairly close. I think some of the button mapping stuff is a little bit different, but I mean, you still have a grappling hook, gliding mechanics are there. So I think there's probably smoke bombs, probably some gadgets,
probably some batarangs.
So I think there's enough there that should be familiar for the Arkham guys out there. But in the gameplay, there was more of a detective work, which
nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it looked more like the stuff from the Telltale games, which is very like detective oriented, which I really like. And yeah, this one seems to be. Hopefully, it's an indication of it being more of a puzzly detective stuff and not just an all-out brawler, which I would say Arkham definitely leaned more towards that, which is fine. But the detective stuff is like a very core and kind of key part of these characters. Right. So I'm glad that they're branching out to that more. So
rated PD for puzzly detective.
Puzzly detective.
Everyone looks at me. They want my reaction.
I want you to clown on
laugh. I want you to laugh.
Was it funny?
I heard that they delayed the Hogwarts game. Is that true?
Oh, that better not be true.
I don't think so.
That was on my top 10.
So I heard
Did
that
Zaslav cut that?
No,
too?
but that's what some people. I read. I was looking somewhere where they're saying Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy.
That there's that game and another game that got kind of delayed, and people were wondering if this had to do with like Discovery. But maybe I saw it. So maybe someone just
Bear Grylls canceled it.
Rails.
So I don't know. I just
was it. When was it supposed to release?
This
November,
year?
Right?
I thought it was
holiday season.
Okay, yeah. So
holiday season.
They said probably.
Hot freaking dang.
Oh no, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Where'd you see it?
I don't know. I was scrolling through Twitter and someone posted like, "Oh, does this mean that like with these delays announced and they had Hogwarts and another game?"
I think they just released gameplay of it not too long, or like
weird,
maybe a mini trailer or something.
Maybe I was wrong, or maybe it was someone saying that they were fixing some things. I don't know, but some people were saying. I don't know if it was IGN or someone else that was like, "Was this
a Blu-ray Angel?"
Probably Blu-ray gamer. Anyways, ignore my question.
Yeah, all I see is it's from earlier this year, which like January.
Yeah,
they're saying that it was delayed to 2023, but that's not
okay
the case.
Oof. So all right, everybody, calm down. We're good.
I mean,
it still
at least
might be
nothing
coming
official.
out this holiday season. But I could totally see
it's good to space out the games that you release to get, more purchases. Because when's Gotham Knight coming out?
It's supposed to be October.
Yeah. So it's all right.
And that's only PS5, right?
It is next gen.
Yeah. Got to start saving up my nickels to get a PS5.
You can't play it anyway. You got a headache.
I play little by little. 30-minute increments should be fine.
Oh, speaking of video games, actually, WB Multiverses came out, which we didn't really talk about in any other podcast, but it's kind of a nice surprise. And this game is basically a Smash Bros. Variant, basically.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were streaming it this last week. They did a lot of like brand activations with like streamers and stuff like that. And they even had a tournament at like the biggest fighting tournament. It's called Evo. And they had a Multiverses tournament there. Pretty crazy. But have you guys seen it?
I've seen clips of it, just like the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like Smash Bros. I mean, obviously with differences and even how the percentages are different.
It's like locked to your character.
Yeah. But it looks interesting. What's the PS1, the PlayStation 1 they did?
PlayStation All-Stars.
Like that one I played a couple times, I think, with you guys. And I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But this one feels like it's
This one feels
more
a
similar
lot.
to Smash
I played it a little bit, and it definitely feels a lot more like Smash Bros. Than the PlayStation All Stars. But the characters are a lot of fun. I mean, it's Warner Bros. And I think
Discovery.
Is Zack Snyder one of the characters?
He is, yeah.
No, but LeBron James is.
LeBron James is.
So they can do any person they want.
Yep. So yeah, you got Looney Tunes.
Joker, Harley Quinn, Batman, Superman.
I don't know if Joker
Wonder
is.
Woman.
I think Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn is. Yeah.
And then they also
Scooby-Doo.
have like Tom and Jerry, but they're not Warner Bros. Are they?
They got Steven
Yeah,
Universe,
they are.
bro.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the only reason why I brought that up is because actually I think it would be fun to stream us playing it. Well, not for the first time because you played a little bit.
I'll let
Yeah,
you guys
sure.
catch up.
But
I'm going clean. No, I'm not practicing.
it would be cool to play it and kind of give our reactions live while we play it. That'd be really fun. But yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
I can't wait to beat Jonah up as LeBron James. It's gonna be sick.
See, I don't know who
You gonna
I
dunk
think,
on him?
I think the first person I'm playing is Batman. You right? You can't.
Batman looks really cool. He has like a grappling hook and he like flies to people and like
Yeah.
kicks them in the face.
Have
He
you
has a
played all the
batarang.
characters?
I've only played as Shaggy and Wonder Woman.
Shaggy turns into a Super Saiyan, right?
Yeah. And he like digs up sandwiches and like throws them.
What
at
did you
people.
say, Josh?
I said Shaggy turns into a Super Saiyan.
He
right?
does, yeah. He goes Super Saiyan mode.
I also want to
He
play as
powers
the
up, yeah.
Adventure Time guys.
Yeah. What is it? Finn and someone else. I can't remember. who
The
that
dog.
was.
What's the dog's name?
Jake.
Jake.
Wow.
Yeah, Finn and Jake.
I've
Very
never
cool.
watched Adventure.
You've never
Time, by
watched
the way.
Adventure Time?
Yeah, but I just pulled his name, so get wrecked.
Adventure Time.
And
yeah.
BMO, dude.
You've seen it. You've seen it.
No, I've
Yeah.
never watched it. I don't even know what it's about.
Adventures.
What's Adventure Time?
Time. Do they travel in time or something?
No, they're in a different world, and
Well, it's in
there's
everything.
like candies.
Oh, there's candies.
There's like
Candyland?
candy people.
This sounds awesome.
It's actually
You're really selling me on this. I know it's super popular. A lot of people really like it.
it's
I'm just saying you're
very
not selling
unique
it very
humor
well.
that
Oh, okay.
that's
You like it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like it. Yeah. I stopped watching it, but I think I watched like the first 3 seasons or something. There's like 12, right?
What?
No,
I don't know.
Bro, you're
right.
You should watch it
None of us
sometime.
have
blowing
seen
my
Adventure
mind.
Time.
You guys should watch
Yeah,
it
right?
sometime.
Yeah, yeah. You know, 12
Yeah,
seasons.
yeah.
I like
out
it.
of time.
I heard there's
out of
33
10?
seasons.
Out of 10, what is it?
Out of 10, I haven't
Yeah.
watched it enough to. Whenever I
Did
watch
you
it,
do like 3 seasons?
It goes-
yeah, but-
That's a lot.
Seinfeld, Adventure Time.
Comedy.
what I like about Adventure Time is it's not
It's not nasty.
like nasty humor.
good.
It's kind of
There's
like
no Dookie humor.
there's like
probably that.
It's like it's dumb humor, but it's just
Okay.
Fart joke.
Nice.
it's really, but it's still clever at the same time. I don't know. It's interesting.
Oh, you can be Arya Stark,
Yeah.
You can be Gandalf, can't
which
you?
is crazy. I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
you can be
I think
Gandalf.
they
Yeah,
said
Can you?
yeah. You
shall not pass. That'd be sick. I want to do that.
That means they'll probably be like Harry Potter characters too.
Oh,
Let's not get carried away.
the
sorry. I apologize.
they did.
I
Have
was getting carried away.
They did have the tournament, and it was really funny because when a game comes out, everyone's like, "Oh, what's the best characters? What are the tier lists and all this stuff?" Right? And so no one
Shaggy's
was
S tier, bro.
no one did any tier lists until the end of the tournament. Everyone figured out this, like 2 dudes figured out that Wonder Woman's like super overpowered. And so it's cool though, because the company, whoever made it, whoever is like balancing and like developing it, they like are doing constant like balancing updates for it.
That's cool.
So that's really promising.
What does that mean?
So like
not that the because I was watching a thing where they had all the characters and they had like the S tier
Yeah.
and then like A and then
Yeah.
A minus. Or what is that? Because I was like, what does that even mean?
It's just ranking like what you like the best.
But what does the S stand for?
S is like like the best
Super duper.
tier quality.
Okay.
Like if we were ranking
S tier
people
is-
on the podcast, S tier,
Like D tier. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was like F to A and then S is the
Okay.
highest.
the best.
It's just
The
like
best of the best.
the best of the best.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was really cool. I didn't know that they were going to be supporting it as much as they did. They did some like searching, and there's like 50 more characters
Yeah,
that are
that's
in
cool.
their bank ready to go. All these different WB characters.
I think that Rick and Morty was announced.
Yeah.
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 They got to have Animaniacs.
Maybe that's where Gandalf's from.
That would be cool.
Maybe he's like upcoming.
I thought they had announced it in the beginning.
I thought I saw him.
Yeah.
Because I had to figure out how to connect GameCube controllers, so I opened it up and I was looking around and stuff like that, and I didn't see Gandalf, but I don't know. Did you?
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they.
that'd be sick.
Maybe you guys didn't
Really?
unlock him. S tier.
Yeah, maybe. I wonder if you unlock it like how Smash Bros.
Like Smash Bros. You have to
mystery
play a
ones.
certain amount.
Maybe.
Oh, no.
New challenger. Yeah, that was awesome. That'd be kind of a ripoff,
Dude,
wouldn't it?
favorite memories though is doing that with Smash Bros. And then we'd be playing like the first when we got it at midnight, and we'd go and just have all our friends over and
Yeah.
be playing, and then we'd be playing and it'd be like a new challenger, and so someone would have to play, and then with that if that person like would lose, everyone's like
No, yeah.
screaming at him.
If you were that unlucky guy who got the win on the last game or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that, and you were the one who had to verse the computer and you lost,
yeah.
Shame.
Because then that goes away, right?
because then you have to do
to
Yeah,
another
you do like
couple
another like
wins.
4 wins or
Yeah.
something, and then you get another one. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Oh, I remember several times where someone would fail and everyone would just give him crap. And no, we wanted to
times.
play Mewtwo or whatever, but you lost to him. Yeah, that was fun.
Do you think they'll ever do another Smash Bros?
No.
Like this is the last one they'll ever do?
It's
Yes.
called Ultimate for a
So
reason.
the creator of Smash Bros. Said it was the ultimate, like, done finale.
Sad.
They'll just build off of that.
Do you think they'll ever add more characters to it?
No.
No, it's done.
Yeah. I think they'll just balance the
If
game.
Zack Snyder came and said, "Hey, I want you to put me in Smash Bros," they'd say no.
Yeah. It's Nintendo. They have
it'd be like, who
standards.
is that? Yeah.
It's Nintendo. They have standards. Okay. But yeah, I think that'd be really cool to
let's do it.
stream it sometime. I don't know if this week would be good, but yeah, so make sure you guys subscribe so that you guys get notified when we stream
That's
on our
right.
YouTube channel,
Yeah.
which is new to me.
New to me.
I stream
New to
on
me.
Twitch, so that'd be sick. Josh
I
streams
stream
on
all the
YouTube
time,
all the
yeah.
time, yeah. But that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm down.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Is there anything else you guys have? Any other
I'm
news?
good.
Or
Did you guys know Chris Pratt is Garfield? Not only is he Mario,
wow,
he's also playing Garfield.
Also, Samuel L. Jackson is in that movie. He's Odie.
Garfield?
Is he normal?
I don't know if he's.
Yes.
Is that his name? Odie?
Yeah,
Odie.
dog.
Yeah.
wait, he's Odie.
No, I don't know. I just saw that Samuel L. Jackson
Who's
was in the movie.
the long-nosed bad guy? What's his name?
Long as bad guy.
The bad guy in that show is
Garfield has a bad guy?
Oh no, I'm thinking of a different IP.
I was like, Long
Long-nosed bad guy. SpongeBob. Squidward.
No,
What's
Don't
the
worry
guy's
about it,
name?
don't worry
John?
John.
John.
Yeah.
John's just the owner.
Basic.
Yeah.
Basic white
Nice.
guy.
So he is Garfield then. Chris Pratt
Yeah,
is
Chris Pratt
Garfield.
is Garfield's
Wow.
voice. So we're
That
going to
guy's
get a
killing-
Mario.
that guy's killing
We're
it.
going to get a Garfield.
I mean, Garfield's voice a little easier.
Well, I hope he does the same voice for both. He just gets a paycheck. He's like,
Italian Garfield.
It's like I've spent so much
Yo,
time.
what's a me, a
lasagna.
Garfield?
Hey, that makes
A
sense.
lasagna.
Because Bill Murray did the voice in the movies. If you guys never watched
Never
them.
watched
Maya,
them. No,
Maya likes those movies.
Unfortunately,
So.
I've seen those. Yeah.
The Garfield movies.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Oh.
Jennifer Love Hewitt's in it.
Oh.
Who plays John in those?
What the guy from
Blue's Clues?
Rob Lowe.
the guy from Kate and Leopold,
Wow.
the friend.
Oh,
That we knew someone that knew
he's
him.
in Rat Race.
Yes.
What is that guy's name?
Oh. Oh, gosh. I know who you're talking about.
He's like rom-com guy.
yeah.
But he was always
He's
the
like
friend.
rom-com guy.
He was always the friend in the rom-coms, and then he started getting like
Kate and Leopold. Oh my gosh.
you thought, yeah, you were like, what? An
I was like,
idiot. I'm not
Hugh
gonna remember. And then his face popped up
Yeah.
in your mind. You're like, that guy.
I don't know what that guy's name is.
Me neither.
Isn't he also in Clueless? He's like the skateboard guy.
Yeah, I'm sure Anne, if she's listening, she knows. She's been screaming at the podcast. She knows exactly what we're talking about. But friend and Kate and Leopold. There you go. He was in the Garfield movies.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
We cover all
think that'll
sorts
do
of
it.
nerd things here, guys. Yeah, Garfield, Kate and Leopold. If you're fans of those shows, you're at the right place. This is the Nerd Age Podcast, right? Subscribe and like.
Where we talk about everything but nerdy.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Anywhere you get podcasts, that's where we'll be too. Instagram, Facebook. As always, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us and listening. Just give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you guys all next week.